Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with a focus on caring without carrying the weight of the world. Today, we'll explore how compassion can be a powerful tool in our lives. We'll look at practical ways to nurture empathy, set healthy boundaries, and find balance. So, let's get started and discover how to care more effectively and sustainably. Caring used to be a quiet, personal act. It might have been making a phone call, sharing a meal, or simply being present with someone in need. It was more private, more contained. But today, that has changed dramatically. Caring has become an open floodgate, pouring out through our screens and social media feeds. Now, every crisis seems to find a way onto our devices. Whether it's a natural disaster, a humanitarian issue, or a social cause, it's right there in front of us. And with that, every cause now has a donate button, making it easy to respond immediately. But it's not just about giving money. Every headline asks us for outrage, sympathy, or action. We are living in an age of relentless empathy where we are constantly aware of issues happening around the world. We're always exposed, always connected. This shift changes how we engage with caring and activism. It's more immediate, more visible, and often more overwhelming. Understanding this evolution is essential as we explore how compassion and activism are transforming in the digital age. And yet, the more we see, the heavier it feels to simply be human. Caring, which used to be a deeply personal experience, has now expanded to a global scale. Sometimes, it even feels performative, like we're just showing care for the sake of appearances. Certain agencies and platforms have taken this a step further. They've turned empathy into a kind of business model. They attach emotion to guilt, guilt to contribution, and contribution to validation. It's important to recognize that the causes we're supporting are often very real and heartbreaking. But the problem is that our compassion is being constantly monetized. This can leave us with little space for genuine reflection or recovery. We weren't really designed to hold this much suffering in our pockets, emotionally, I mean. Today, caring feels like walking a tightrope, balancing between feeling too little and feeling too much. And if we go without pause, empathy can turn into exhaustion. This is what I call the age of relentless empathy, where we're overwhelmed by an endless stream of emotional demands. When we talk about compassion, we often confuse it with absorption, like thinking we have to take on someone else's pain to truly care. But the truth is, empathy without boundaries can become heavy and self-defeating. It's what psychologists call empathetic distress, where we mirror someone's suffering so intensely that it drains us rather than connects us. The world doesn't need more people collapsing under the weight of caring. It needs people whose compassion is sustainable, people who can feel deeply, but without fracturing. That's where the idea of separating connection from contagion comes in. We can understand someone's pain without drowning in it. We can stand near their suffering without letting it swallow us whole. Because real compassion isn't about taking on pain. It's about transforming that pain into understanding, courage, and action. So remember, absorption versus connection. It's a crucial distinction that helps us stay strong and effective in our caring without losing ourselves in the process. Imagine compassion as a circle of light, bright, warm, and alive. You stand at its center, grounded in your own presence. Inside this circle, you can see others clearly, recognizing their needs and struggles without letting the light consume you. This is what therapists call boundaried compassion, caring deeply with awareness but not absorption. There are 3 key principles to this approach. First, presence over rescue. You don't have to fix everything or save everyone. Sometimes just being fully present with someone can be the most healing act you offer. Second, awareness over guilt. When compassion is driven by guilt, it can turn into charity that feels shallow or obligatory. But when guided by awareness, it transforms into genuine solidarity, a real connection rooted in understanding. And third, continuity over collapse. It's far better to help steadily over many years than to burn out quickly trying to do everything at once. Sustained kindness requires boundaries, as much as it requires empathy. Boundaried compassion recognizes that we can't carry everyone's burdens, but we can still walk beside many on their journeys. It's about balancing care with self-awareness, ensuring that our compassion remains healthy and sustainable. Remember, this approach helps us stay true to our capacity while making a meaningful difference. So, how do we live this balance, caring without carrying the world's weight? That's a really important question. One key idea is to choose your radius. You're not obligated to respond to every pain or need you see out there. Instead, it's about defining where your compassion can be most effective. Maybe that's focusing on your family, your local community, or supporting a single cause that truly resonates with you. The goal is to prioritize depth over breadth. By concentrating your energy and compassion in one area, you create a much greater impact than if you spread yourself too thin. Remember, being intentional about where you direct your care helps you stay balanced and sustainable. It's about making a meaningful difference without feeling overwhelmed. So, think about where your efforts can truly make a difference and focus your compassion there. That's how we live this balance, by caring deeply in the right places. Let's talk about scheduling silence. Compassion fatigue often comes from overexposure, right? When we're constantly plugged into news, crises, or emotional demands, it wears us down. So, it's really important to give ourselves permission to step back and let our empathy breathe. Taking intentional breaks helps prevent burnout and keeps us effective in supporting others. Remember, caring well isn't just about giving nonstop. It's about restoring our capacity to be present and compassionate. So, scheduling some quiet moments into your day is a simple but powerful way to maintain your well-being and sustain your ability to care. Now, let's talk about holding with open hands. When we're helping others, it's important not to grip outcomes too tightly. What does that mean? It means we should focus on contributing rather than trying to control every detail or result. Our role is to be present, to support, and to guide without imposing our own need for things to turn out a certain way. Releasing the illusion of fixing everything can be incredibly freeing. Sometimes, we think that we need to have all the answers or to solve every problem ourselves. But in reality, just being present, showing up with openness and acceptance, is often enough and more powerful than we realize. So remember, holding with open hands is about trust in the process, trust in others, and trusting that presence itself can be a powerful force for positive change. That's the core idea I want you to take away from this. Let's talk about practicing microcompassion. Sometimes, the most meaningful acts of care are actually quite small. Things like truly listening without interrupting, remembering someone's name, or simply giving your time instead of money. These small actions might seem simple, but they have a powerful impact. They help to restore and strengthen both the giver and the receiver, creating a ripple of kindness that can really make a difference. Remember, it's these tiny, genuine gestures that often foster the deepest connections and support. So, I encourage you to practice microcompassion in your daily interactions. It's these little acts that can truly transform relationships and promote a more compassionate world. Remember, you are someone to care for too. It's easy to forget that compassion starts inward with ourselves. Self-compassion isn't about indulgence or being overly easy on ourselves. It's about maintaining our well-being. Think of it like refueling your own tank. You can't pour from an empty cup, no matter how noble your intentions. Taking care of yourself isn't a sign of weakness, but a necessary step to be truly present and effective for others. So, always remember to care for yourself too, because your well-being directly impacts your ability to support and care for those around you. To care without carrying the world's weight is not detachment, it's maturity. It's understanding that love, to last, must pace itself. Compassion is not a river meant to flood, it's a well meant to endure. Each of us can only hold so much. What matters is not how much we carry, but how gently we walk with what we do. The world does not need our exhaustion, it needs our clarity. It needs people who can look at pain without panic, who can listen without absorbing, who can help without losing themselves. To care wisely is to remain open yet grounded, kind yet centered. It is to love the world deeply without letting it drown you. So I encourage you to love the world deeply, but remember, true love involves strength, balance, and wisdom in how we give and support. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with others who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. Remember, How to New is really about inner athletics. It's not about competing against others, but about striving for excellence within ourselves. It's about pushing our personal boundaries, developing resilience, and cultivating a mindset of continuous growth. That's the core message I want you to take away from today. Thanks again for being here, and I hope you feel inspired to apply these concepts to your own journey of inner mastery.